is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is not the Philly Talk podcast. It is Goat Talk. Philly Mike, LB. We are
Yes,
live on
sir.
two channels. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe. But we got some business to talk about.
hmm
LB, Mr. Hurts sees him himself. How you feeling before we get into this topic?
I cannot complain. You know what I mean? The 3-game losing streak might have exposed some chinks in our armor. We going through a whirlwind of things, in the public. Maybe winning cures all. We gonna see on Christmas, but I'm anxious to see this game on Christmas. That's how I feel.
Exactly. But before we get to this game on Christmas, we got some I guess Cole, if you would talk about present wise, a report came out via the Philly Inquirer, Jeff McClain and them. They decided to report it off a 3-game losing streak, and
hmm
the exact words are this: but there is some internal concerns about the 25-year-old quarterback. The Eagles want their franchise quarterback to be authentic, but they also want him to open himself up a little more in the locker room and have a more outward leadership style when it's needed during difficult stretches. Several team sources close to the situation said. I call cap. What's your first initial reaction?
It's cap. You know what I mean? And I think it's just so contradictory of the way that the media likes to present why they love Jalen Hurts. Let's think about this. In one notion, we want to praise Jalen Hurts for being so even keeled. You know what I mean? While we're winning, look at him. He just threw a touchdown pass, but he ain't even smiling about it. You know what I mean? He's down 10 points. He ain't even blinking the eye. He just threw an interception. He ain't even blinking the eye. Like, you want the stone cold killer or you want the emotional wreck when times are tough? You know what I'm saying? So it just don't even make sense. I feel like everybody knows the temperament of Jalen Hurts. And everybody knows that Jalen Hurts is probably the biggest competitor on his football team. So his demeanor and mindset and difficult stretches shouldn't surprise anybody. You know what I mean? He's the last person that we would expect to go out there and just be emotional. He's Jalen is not jumping on Twitter. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
not a
Jalen,
rah-rah guy for sure.
he's not a rah-rah. He's not a rah-rah guy. You know what I mean? Jalen knows what's at stake. You know what I'm saying? And maybe his commitment comment might have rubbed some people in the locker room the wrong way. You know what I mean? It could be that, but come on, I call cap on this, man. I doubt anybody in that locker room is going behind Jalen Hurts' back and saying that they don't think that he is showing the right emotion during this 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, I agree. Misery loves company. You're pretty much questioning, right? Like the Eagles, who just paid this man over $250 million, have people in the organization questioning the fact that he's not a big time cheerleader in a time of need. He's not crying in a situation like this. He keeps calling it beautiful. He keeps saying we can get out of it because he truly believes that. And that's the type of competitor he is. That's like what you said. We praised him, and the team and the fans and everybody praised him. But again, it's the time we're in. A 3-game losing streak. Does this article come out even if we struggle versus Seahawks, but beat them by 3? We kicked that field goal, going overtime. Does this article come out then? Why now, when we are 3 games away from the playoffs, still fighting for the number 1 seed, not fighting for a wild card, fighting for the number 1 seed in the division where we have everything out in front of us? And I understand we should be frustrated as a fan base, right? And players in the locker room. But to go there and say that he needs to be more rah-rah, because that's what the article is claiming. They're not criticizing his play, which if you want to say one thing bad, his play has not been up to par these last 3 games. You could say that, and I'm going to be like, cool. I still believe in Jalen Hurts, but cool. I ain't mad at you for saying that. If it's a player, a team source or whatever, but to question his leadership when this is how he got us to the Super Bowl last year. This is why we are still a Super Bowl contender, whether people still believe it or not. We are. Vegas got us second to represent the NFC behind the Niners, so we're still up there. The fact of the matter is he's never going to be a rah-rah guy. I think authenticity is what made Jalen Hurts who he is. That's why he was believed in by guys like Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey, maybe Darren Sproles, why Carson Wentz was in the building. I absolutely think that this is Eagle fans are down. Let's get this article out now. And I don't know if I even believe anybody in the locker room is questioning the will to win or leadership of a Jalen Hurts. It's just, it made me so mad when someone sent this to me on my DMs. I was like, what?
Yeah, because it just makes no sense. The timing is very, very questionable because, like you said, if you beat the Seattle Seahawks, this is not an issue. This is not even a story. You know, if you really follow Jalen Hurts, now I haven't followed them since his college career and stuff like that. I followed him when he became a Philadelphia Eagle. You know what I mean? But when you really follow Jalen Hurts and you do some back research, Jalen Hurts been like this since Alabama. You know what I mean? If you don't, if getting benched for Tua and watching Tua win the national championship don't get you emotionally, you know, out of character, then the 3-game losing streak is definitely not going to do it when you're 10-4. You know what I mean? It's the facts of the matter. Like, look at what Jalen Hurts has done this year. Like, let's not forget what the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm not going to just say Jalen Hurts. Let's not forget for real. We beat the Bills. We beat the Chiefs. We beat some really good teams. We beat the Dolphins. We beat some killers. I think we won 7 games against teams that's 500 this year. So, you know, the mark of what we really can do when we need to do it has already been set in stone. But the fashion of the 3-game winning streak, the 3-game losing streak, is what I think got a lot of people up in arms. When you get blown out by the San Francisco 49ers. Now, let me give you guys, from my perspective, of how I feel about the 3-game losing streak. We was way too nice with Deebo Samuels and the San Francisco 49ers. Way too buddy. They wasn't with us. They came out there and blown us out. We went out there in Dallas and got blown out. You know what I'm saying? Then you lose to Drew Lock. Yeah. You should have egg on your face. But what the media is trying to do, in my opinion, is the media is trying to strike hot where they can get a story at. You know, using the emotions of the Philadelphia Eagles fan base to spin up a story like this, to get clicks, to generate views. Like all my haters on Twitter tag me in it. You know what I mean? Guys who claim I'm nobody on Twitter took time out their day to tag me. Hey, look, y'all guys crumbling. So that's what the media wants to do. The media wants to, you know,
kick us while we're down.
Right. They want to kick us while we're down. And what we got to do is just win. That's it. I don't believe any of this. This has no validity at all, in my opinion, in terms of what's going on in the locker room in Philadelphia. It's a weird story.
Exactly. Look, because BG was actually asked the question about how does he feel about the commitment wording of Jalen Hurts before Jalen Hurts clarified in his presser the other day. When I say we, I mean me. Look, I'm a leader in the locker room, which he's always been a leader everywhere he went. And everybody talks about, like, if you ask any player what makes Jalen Hurts special, they'll mention his rushing ability. They'll mention his clutchness. Sometimes, again, last year he was one of the best deep ball throwers. This year, not so much. However, the first thing everybody goes to, media guy, teammate, is his leadership. And BG said, listen, if he says there's a commitment issue, then there is. Maybe not necessarily like black and white, like we're not trying, but he just wants us all to be better. And he's right. That. And
I agree with that.
And after we lost to the Niners, what was Jeff McClain and Zach Berman tweeting then? Oh, Brandon Graham and Jalen Hurts broke down the team prior to their workout. They weren't on the field. They weren't on the gridiron. They were in the gym in their training session working out. And Jalen Hurts made it a point to say a speech. I see him in the team huddles. We get them mic'd up. Right. If that don't get you, if rain, sleet, or snow, the Eagles are trained to go. It's all good when you're winning, right? They show the leadership. Listen, the Philadelphia Eagles haven't released a mic'd up YouTube video in this losing streak until now. When the Eagles win, you got a nice little mic'd up video. We get to see everybody happy. We don't get to see that. This is the first time Eagles like, damn, we on a 3-game losing streak. They've been wanting to mic'd up. We're going to give a Fletch one. And it's not the same energy. But at the end of the day, I still see what Hurts does on them. We hear from the players. You hear him breaking down the team in a workout. But all of a sudden now it's went from 1-game loss to 2-game loss to 3 games loss to where it's like, we need a cheerleader. You don't need a cheerleader. You need your quarterback to be QB1. That's it. You need your quarterback to do what he's been doing since he's entered Philadelphia.
Right. It's just
and take care of business.
It's just mind-boggling to me. I mean, they rave about the leadership. And what was the other one you said? You said leadership. And what was the other one?
Clutchness.
Leadership and clutchness. And they also rave about the mindset of Jalen Hurts. Like, I can't look like the term even kill should be coined by people who follow Jalen Hurts, because that's all they say about him. So why would it be any different in the face of turmoil? You know what I mean? Jalen Hurts has played on the biggest stages in the National Football League and has shown the same emotion. You know what I mean? With all the success and all the accolades. You got other quarterbacks who throw a 3-yard touchdown and they run down the sideline. Yeah, it was a 3-yard touchdown. Jalen Hurts ain't doing that.
Here we go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts is not, he just ain't that guy. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, I just don't think that, listen, Jalen Hurts is not about to lose the team. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts is not losing. The team is not losing confidence in Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? Just like you pointed out with the mic'd ups, man. When we won against the Buffalo Bills, you know what I'm saying? Brandon Graham was telling everybody on the mic up, y'all must don't know who Jalen Hurts is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all must don't know. Jalen about to win this game. You know what I mean? They got the utmost respect and confidence in Jalen Hurts, man. So Howie Roseman wouldn't have paid him if that was the case.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But these stories don't help us. I'll tell you why. Because none of us believed that we were out on Carson Wentz until we saw a trade. You know, it was all rumors and stories saying that, you know, the Philadelphia Eagles, that there's somebody in the locker room talking about Carson Wentz, and I think it came out that it was Alshon Jeffrey. You know
there
what I
was
mean?
a lot more smoke, though. A lot more smoke.
It was about the same.
Nah.
It was about the same. You don't think so? Oh, because we were a 4-win team.
Well, look, Carson was a part of our success, but he didn't win. Carson was a part of our success, but there's always been a disconnect with how he is in the locker room, even in the good. There was always talked about that, right? See, this is just coming up. And you know what? As you were speaking, I was thinking about this. We're going to get to the super chats in a second. Like, I feel like the media was waiting for a chance to get this out, because in the last week or so, prior to losing to Seattle, I remember at Jalen Hurts presser, again, after the Dallas loss, before the Seattle game, they straight asked him, do you think that you being so even keel, not showing emotion in this losing streak of 2 games, your teammates might take it the wrong way or something? Like, listen, I promise you, you could go back to the pressers, one or two of the pressers post Dallas loss, prior to the Seattle Seahawks loss. That question was asked, do you think your even keel nature makes people think that you're not that upset about the losses? And he straight said, no, they know who I am, and I am who I am, right? So I just thought of that. Real talk. That question's asked, Eagles lose again, and this article, that's not questioning his play, that's not questioning his will to win, it's questioning his
demeanor.
The Eagles want a guy who, when it gets difficult, can be a rah-rah guy, when it just makes no sense.
It don't make no sense. That's what that's what a coach is for.
Yeah.
That's what a coach is for. Things are difficult. I'm expecting Nick Sirianni and these other guys to step up to the podium. But instead, what they're doing is they're going to the podium and just blatantly lying to our faces. You know what I mean? Let's call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? Your coach is supposed to be able to reassure the team of the path to success, because the division is right there in your hands. I believe the Eagles will beat the Giants, and I believe the Dallas Cowboys will lose to the Miami Dolphins on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So if that happens, we're back in firm control with a 1-game lead with 2 games left, and we finish that out and we win the division. So everything you need is right there in front of you at the end of the day. But it's not Jalen Hurts' job to be running around saying, let's go. It kind of is, but you know his demeanor. He's not that guy. You know what I mean? So the article is trash. The article is designed to further create this divide. You know, it's a lot of people out there, let's call a spade, who are waiting for the I told you moment about Jalen Hurts. After 3 years, they're still waiting for this moment. They feel like that this is their moment. And you know what I mean? I think they're just going to end up being sad at the end of the day.
I totally agree. Real quick, shout out to Mama E with the $5 super chat. She said, just showing love. We appreciate you 1,000%. Robert Drennan with the $5 super chat. On the 12th day of Christmas, the NFL God sent me 10 Cowboy playoffs loss and a partridge in a pear tree and a 2024 Lombardi. Merry Christmas, fellas. Hey, shout out to you. When in doubt, Robert Drennan going to come in with some trash talk to the Dallas Cowboys. As Philly 500 says, they still stink. We appreciate that. Andrew with the $5 super chat said he was praised for his level head, and now he's not rah-rah enough. BS article. I don't care anymore. We'll be the villains if they want us to be. I totally agree, right? The question came out from Jeff McClain or somebody prior to this article, prior to Seattle. Do you think your players like it? Jalen not worried at all. Said they know who we are. BG, as you said, praising them in the last one when we're in overtime. And last but not least, we see Jalen. Who gives the team huddle speech? Jalen. Who broke down the team when we lost the first 2 games? Jalen. Who literally said in one of his rah-rah speeches, we not here to be doing no rah-rah speech. So like, his mindset has always been show me, not tell me. And he's been leading by that, leading by example. And this is like the worst way you could criticize Jalen. You could say, well, his deep ball's not that good this year. You could say a lot of things. I still believe if there's anybody who I'm going to bet my chips on when they're getting backed into a corner or people are not believing, it's Jalen. But if you want to criticize the interceptions. Make it, but to simply go at the one thing that's always made him great is ridiculous. But like you said, there's been a narrative about the whole Wentz and Jalen Hurts thing. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, right? Prior to this article, we had trolls. These are Cowboy, Giants, or somebody fan saying Nick Sirianni hired. You know, they had the whole Nick Sirianni Doug comparison to Carson Wentz Jalen comparison to lose a OC comparison to add a bunch of skilled players comparison. Like they try to break it down like that. And I didn't even put it in any of my videos because it was stupid, because it was a fan-made thing. Now, this is our media. This is the guys who ask these guys questions, writing articles talking about a team source. When they say that, they're saying somebody in that locker room, whether it's the ball boy or Devontae Smith, you don't know how little it is, but a team source is trying to say this, which I absolutely don't believe. Real quick, Donnell Shipley with the $5 super chat. They don't know what they want last year. He's one of the best leaders that ever played football this year. We lose 3 games and he's not leading enough. Shaking my head. I agree.
Yeah, real talk, man. It gets difficult during losing stretches for a lot of teams, especially when you already got a quarterback that you're paying. He's going to always take the most of the blame. Like the Philadelphia Eagles, we've just had so many things going on media wise. A lot of guys not keeping things tight to the vest. During this 3-game winning streak, we have situations with AJ. You know what I mean? I apologize if anyone wants to blame me for that. But we have situations with AJ, on Twitter. We have situations where Slay is on Twitter. Hold on, Tori. We have situations where Slay is on Twitter. You know what I mean? We have situations where guys are saying, I'm doing this, I'm okay, I'm doing my job. You know what I mean? The Philadelphia Eagles, they just have to stay off of the internet, not worry about the smoke that's being kicked up, because guys are benefiting off of the smoke that's being kicked up, whether it's clicks, whether it's views. You know what I mean? They got to understand that the only thing that matters is inside that locker room. Give me 1 second, Mike.
That's facts. And why LB goes take care of business. I totally agree with what he just said there. Like it's these guys are 25, 27. They like social media like the next person. But when the season is kind of derailing, like this is where you need to just double down, focus a little bit more, still do what you do, right? Live your life. They're human, as AJ said on that last DraftKings podcast. But at the end of the day, this is the most obscene thing I've heard in a while. To question someone's leadership after simply being praised for all the things he's done this way, and we go on a 3-game skid and it's not good enough anymore. Again, I think Jalen Hurts got to play better than what he played in the last 3 games. No if, and, or buts. I believe he can. Again, we got a lot of things clawing at us with the play calling at times, Nick Sirianni's scheme, and Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles turnovers, right? Like, I still want to go back. We don't turn the ball over. We're a good team, and that's why we were a great team last year, by not turning the ball over. If this report didn't come out, I was going to have a video dropping for y'all on my page about the offensive statistics, and there's some things I like about it, but there's couple areas we got to clean up. Turnovers and passing game. Simple. Turnovers and passing game, whether it's play calling or Hurts, you turn that around. We're top 10 in a lot of categories still. Listen, the season's not over. We all deserve to be frustrated off this 3-game losing streak. Players might come out, might unravel a little bit, but that's where, guess what? What were we always saying? If anybody's going to bring these guys back in, who is it?
Jalen Hurts.
And now it's like, oh no, even Jalen can't do it. We want him to get up on his pom-poms and maybe the players will respond better. No, you respond on Sundays. You don't, yes, you got to go through practice. We're doing all that extra stuff, but you still got to respond on Sundays.
You got to respond, right? That's absolutely right. You got to respond on the field. Listen, Jalen Hurts, I think I saw you tweet this. Jalen Hurts is the guy that you want in a situation like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His character is just top tier. He always says the right thing, whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? And the fact that we're in such a good spot and people don't even really want to admit it. Like, we're not out of this by a long shot. You know what I mean? This is, first of all, we're in the playoffs. And I don't think anybody wants to see us in the playoffs. If this team start pulling his own head out of his ass, I don't think nobody want to see us in the playoffs. You know what I mean? We are the NFC champs. We know how to play winning football. You know what I mean? And I think, to be honest, I saw some differences in the defense. You know what I mean? With Matt Patricia calling plays. I saw some small differences. So I think, I think we're starting to turn a small corner at the right time. I
gotta get a dub before.
Facts. I need to get a dub before 2024. Right. I gotta see a dub in 2023. That's how I'm feeling.
I'm with you. I'm standing on business with this article being BS. With maybe if you want to say that there's some validity to this, maybe somebody said maybe somebody commented on the commitment stuff and this article got spun. Because listen, one of the trending Jalen Hurts speeches was, we don't need no rah-rah stuff, right? Like, and everybody felt him saying we don't need no rah-rah made me feel rah-rah. You know what I mean? And I know it got the guys feeling good. And so it's just mind-boggling that this is what would be reported. And again, exact words is this. It's crazy. The Eagles want their franchise quarterback to be authentic. That's Jalen Hurts, right? But also to open himself up more in the locker room and have a more outward leadership style when it's needing during a difficult stretch. Several team sources close to the situation said. So again, let's break it down a little bit more. They're talking about
like a hater wrote that. I ain't gonna even lie, Mike. I sound like a hater wrote that.
But look, so again, key word though, they're saying more outward in the locker room. So like he what you want Jalen to go around and give everybody a hug?
It just don't make sense. You want to have private huddles in the locker room? Dudes probably on the phone talking to their families after practice. Like, all of that stuff that y'all want is what's happening on the field. He's shown this on the field where it matters the most. He's shown leadership on the field. You know what I mean?
And listen, it was just reported that him and Brandon Graham broke down the team during a workout session, right? The workout session ain't in the locker room, but it's still off the field. He broke down the team. He trains with guys in the offseason. Like, this is a leader. He stands on business. Just because he's not, it's wild. It's wild.
It doesn't make any sense, man. But, in my mind, beating the Giants, what is it, Christmas or Christmas Eve? One of these important
Christmas
days. Christmas Day. Beating the Giants on Christmas Day, in my opinion, I think it just has to be done. It has to be done because you're looking at a golden opportunity here, man. And if you want me to be honest, man, the team got so much going on. I can't really see us putting together a crazy performance, Mike. I can't see us putting up 40. I just can't see it. I can't see it, Mike.
The other day, I said, because look, so much, when I posted that Jalen Hurts, I believe in him tweet, man, people want to kill me in my DMs and everything. Like, I can't believe in my quarterback, right? At the end of the day, I said yesterday, how are we going to feel, Eagle Nation, if we drop 38 on the Giants? And you know what I got? I got a lot of, no way we're scoring 38. I got a lot of, we're not even going to beat the Giants. And listen, I understand being upset with this 3-game losing streak, but, I will say this. I'll be damn near 99% out if we go ahead and lose to the Giants, for the simple fact that you can't lose 2 games like we did against the Cowboys and the Niners. I almost thought it was impossible for us to lose against Seattle, but hey, I'll take it that one. I took them 2 losses on the chin. That one was a gut punch.
It was.
But a Giants loss will be a knockout for me.
The only, I'm out when we're put out. That's the only way, because we're in the play.
I said that too. But you can't let the Giants, a team we dominated for a decade, be the icing on top of a 3-gamer.
Something is telling me that this team only going to show the urgency that we looking for in the postseason, bro.
We dropped 38 on the Giants. I'm
not saying we're going to lose to the Giants, but I'm telling you, man, it could be an underwhelming offensive performance again. That's the issue.
I'm taking all my Christmas gifts back from my kids if we lose on Christmas Day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're right. It's going to be an ugly Christmas. I mean, I think we're going to win, but I just don't see us being explosive. It's just too much that's going on, man. A lot of these guys are in their heads right now, bro. And Jalen Hurts is the last person. A lot of these guys are in their heads. We lost to the Dallas Cowboys. How? All three of our stars on the offensive side of the ball got stripped
Fumbled.
of the football. You know
Inside
what I'm
the
saying?
30.
Inside the 30. You know what I mean?
That's at least 9 points. If we don't go any further than that, we just hold on to the ball. That's at least 9 points,
bro. And I understand. And this is the thing. I understand that it happens. You know what I mean? This is why my words keep getting me in trouble on Twitter with some of the players on our team. This is why. Listen, man. If you're gonna take my cookies, you know what I'm saying, from my three best tough guys, I got an issue with that. Collectively, I gotta say we played soft. You don't strip Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith. What's the fucking odds of that? You know what I mean? Yeah. What's the odds of that? You know what I mean? And
that will never happen again in their whole playing career together.
That's what I'm saying, man. And guys got to understand that, you know, that the real frustration from us fans is that you guys aren't playing to the level that we know. You just was in the Super Bowl, bro. You guys don't look like you, right? You know what I'm saying? You guys don't look like you were ever there. And this is why. And then the responding to the bad play, the media is picking up on how sensitive things are in Philadelphia, and everybody's just taking these shots. But if you win out, if you win your next two, if you win the division, if you get a home playoff game in the first round, you are cool. This will be a figment of our imagination if you win these last three games.
You win these last three games, yes. The link will be sold out.
Right.
We'll be cheering, and it will be back to normal. Listen, the best cure is winning. Winning cures everything. Guess what? If we beat Seattle, we're still talking about the things we got to correct because we didn't like the offensive output. Defense was a little bit better. We're talking about the things, but we're not in doom or gloom. This article don't get written. A bunch of things don't happen. However, I'm at the point right now where, like, again, I said on my video, the last two videos, I said I'm a sicko, and I'm not going to stop watching or cheering for the Eagles or believing them until they're out. However, I'm so confident in this Giants game. Like, listen, I just am because, and yes, I still believe there's things going wrong with Nick Sirianni's scheme at times and coaching and trying for a DPI when you got this, that, and the third. Just ridiculous to me. However, I believe in the personnel. I believe in the Jason Kelce's, the Lanes, the Jalen Hurts, the AJ Browns. I believe in this team so much that I feel like they can overcome things. They shouldn't have to, but I just feel like they will. And I think it starts against the Giants. Again, it's all my preference. They have not shown me anything over the last 3 weeks that they can compete with with any team. They haven't shown me. But I still have a memory. My memory didn't start after Thanksgiving. I remember winning close games against top teams in the AFC. The Bills are now on a winning streak. After we beat them, they went on a winning streak. The Chiefs are 1 or 2 in the AFC. The Dolphins are top 3 in the AFC. We beat the Cowboys, right? So we beat the third best team in the NFC. We beat the couple top teams in the AFC. We did that this season. It feels so far away. Feels like a year ago. But it's not, right? I remember being in the Super Bowl. So the personnel, the players, and my memory of this season still shows me that we can put up 30. We're still we're seventh in points scored. I don't know how. We haven't cracked over 25 in the last 3 weeks, but we're still seventh in scoring. We're third on third down offense. Like, we still do things good. I don't know how. It don't look like it. I got to make sure these numbers are really aligning, but we still do things good. We just been in an ugly rut these last 3 weeks, an ugly one. Because even in our close wins, we've done things good. We've done things bad too. Like maybe against Washington, it was close. The offense drops 30, but the defense allows 30, so we're still mad. Against the Chiefs, we only scored 20, but the defense holds Mahomes to 17. We're mad at the offense, but the defense looked good, right? Against the Bills, defense got blasted with the most snaps since 90s. But we score 30-something on the Bills. We feel really good. So there's been a lot of feel-good moments and bad moments, but we're still 10-4. And so
it's really it's really been a lack of complementary football. You know what I mean? Because when we dropping 30, the defense giving up 30, our offense just has been that good to outscore the other offense. You know what I mean? If your defense plays, and it's crazy because I'm sitting here saying that the defense against the Seahawks looked improved, but it was Drew Lock for real. If your defense really go out there and have some assertiveness to it, you could shut down Drew Lock. DK Metcalf was non-existent in the first half. You know what I mean? Your
He
defense.
didn't get involved into the last drive, bro.
That's what I'm saying,
crazy.
bro. That's what I'm saying. Your defense has the personnel to make life more miserable for Drew Lock. There's so many small problems with the team, and you know they just all started to rear their ugly heads at one time during this 3-game winning streak. We got to start fixing some of these deficiencies. Losing streak, you're right. We got to start fixing some of these deficiencies.
I can tell you're not used to it. We're not used to saying losing streak. See,
I ain't used to it, and you know I be having to tell people this all the time. Like, listen, man, I make videos about winning since Jalen Hurts became the quarterback. Like, my life consists of winning. I'm not used to this. You know what I mean? So the Philadelphia, I think it's one thing missing on the defensive side of the ball that a lot of people don't want to talk about. The pass rush not getting home. Now, Hassan Reddick has over 10 sacks this season, but collectively, the pass rush just hasn't been getting home, and it's leaving a lot of guys hanging out to dry. But you know, I don't want to get too far into the X's and O's of why I think the defense is bad. But it was Drew Lock last week. I don't care who mad at me. I don't care who get mad at me, bro. Losing to Drew Lock was the most embarrassing loss since the 2017 Super Bowl to me. Losing to Drew Lock.
We lost to Zach Wilson too.
Dog, Drew Lock was worse. The Seahawks was worse. I'll tell you why. The Jets still had a dominant defense.
All the corners were out.
But that defense still different. That's crazy.
It is.
That's crazy. All the corners was out. But listen though, Jamal Adams was missing. You know what I mean? These guys had a gang of guys missing too.
Yeah, they did.
And I think it was pathetic. I think it was a pathetic display, man. And yo, man, listen.
Hey, but listen. I don't like to listen to Colin Hurd a lot, but he said, look, you had to travel across country. Your quarterback was sick. You controlled the game. Drew Lock just made the best play of his life. So I'm going to listen to Hurd on that one. No, I'm just kidding. However, look, let me look at it this way. Seattle just has they beat it. We haven't beat them since 2008 or 12? Like, it's been a long, they beat us 15 straight times or some shit like that.
But none of them games consist of them beating us with a backup.
True that.
It was all, you know what I mean? It was always the starter. You know what I mean? You're talking about a lot of Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? That beat up on us. Yeah, Russell Wilson might end up in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Let's keep it real. So, you know, I don't, you know, listen, man, you got to win on Christmas, man. If you lose on Christmas, man, I'm telling you, man, it's getting bad, man. The stuff that Nick Sirianni is saying out in the open, if you lose on Christmas, bro, nobody not going to hear what neither one of them guys got to say at the podium, Jalen or Nick. Nick is sounding like he want to lose the city if we're keeping it a stat. You got to win. You have to win this game.
Yo, it ain't even got to be in dominant fashion, bro.
You look, to keep it fun, to keep it 100, you got to win out. Because of who you're playing, because of the circumstances, and because of what just transpired these last 3 games, there's nothing less than winning out proves to us we are deserving and ready for a playoff run.
Right.
Nothing but winning out proves it. You go 2-1 in this stretch. Well, then listen, on Sunday when you play your first playoff game, I'm going to watch. I'm going to cheer. But no way, shape, or form am I putting my wallet on anything, right? Because you don't deserve my wallet. You don't deserve a betting line if you can't finish this strong with who you got and everything that's transpired. But look, Breeze World said you had every right to state your opinion, LB. Stand on that. AJ only responded because he didn't like what you said. An opinion is an opinion.
No, facts. You know, I agree with that. You know, of course, I'm always going to state my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, it's no secret that I have immense respect for AJ Brown. You know what I mean? AJ Brown has simply catapulted the Hurt season movement for me just by putting the hat on his head. You know what I mean? And I could have like rephrased buddy ball, but that's just how I see it. That's just how I talk. Right. I think that's what really, you know, what really rattled the Hornets' nest. And you know, also at the same time, you know, what I said, I felt like had to be said. It wasn't really directed at AJ. You know what I mean? It was directed more so of the decision making of Jalen Hurts. But I'm always going to speak my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's a gift and a curse that when you say something on a public forum like Twitter, that you know the athletes actually respond to you from time to time. So it is what it is, though, man. You know, AJ knows no hard feelings, man. You know what I'm saying? I've reached out to him, let him know that. So you know, I don't take no. At the end of the day, I don't take no offense to it.
And the buddy ball buddy ball is, I think, what created the response.
Yeah.
However, it was more of a buddy ball still from Hurts to AJ, not a buddy ball from AJ to Hurts. Still, you know, because it's one buddy got to be doing it first, right? And so you were thinking that Hurts got to come off that. That's it.
But this the thing. But this situations, you know what I mean? AJ like 25, 26. I was once 25, and I was once 25 and 26 as well. What's happening is that a lot of people been saying that all year. You know what I'm saying? That's been building up all year that we are force feeding him. He's getting all the targets. That's how he broke Megatron record. Like a lot of people have been saying these things all year. What AJ, he took out his frustration. He had to come out.
He said, "This the last one saying it today."
Facts. It had to come out. And this is how I know it was frustration, because people have been saying it all year, because not only did he quote tweet it, he ran out of characters and said something else underneath. You know what I mean? He been wanting to get that off his chest. Hey, come on, it's like I'm just still a fan. You know what I mean? He knew who he quote tweeted. He knew that, you know, the message was received. You know what I mean? A lot of people have been saying it and getting away with it, but he used me as the microphone and let y'all know, like, I hear y'all criticism. Stop playing with my character, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I say, yo, I hit you up right away. We talked on the phone. You know what I mean? You handled it perfectly. You know what I mean? And again, you know, nobody is above criticism on this team through this 3-game losing streak, right? You know, but I just think it was a buildup. It was definitely a buildup with that whole force the ball thing. Donnell Shipley with the $5 super chat. Last thing. I'm tired of the Eagle fans comparing Hurts to Wentz. They are nothing alike. Losing makes people fly out the window. I absolutely agree. And again, this was more of a fan base thing, not so much the media, but fans were trying to do that. I think it was more outside fans trying to do that whole Wentz and Hurts comparison, but it was absolutely just garbage, right? They even went further. They said Nick to Doug to Wentz to Hurts to both of them losing OCs to both, you know, that 17 and 2022 team next year losing and gaining stars. It was a bunch of craziness going on. Philly Laz with the $10 super chat. Would Jeff McClain
Mike, I don't mean to cut you off. Both of my kids crying. I have no idea what's going on with these guys.
It's all good. If you want to just hop off real quick, I'm gonna be getting out of here soon anyway.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna drop off. Hey, I appreciate everybody for tapping in with us, man. I hope you guys have an amazing holiday. You know we're gonna do what we do. My kids acting like they don't want these gifts on Monday, so let me go ahead and tend to them real quick.
It's all good, bro. I'm gonna be 5 minutes. I'm gonna get these supers and get up out of here. Philly Last said, would Jeff McClain have reported this if the Eagles didn't lose 3 straight? These fair weather reporters love the show, LB. I can't send you super chats. Your mod's causing you money. Fix it. I'm not sure who he's talking about. You just sent LB. Oh, LB. You couldn't send LB a super chat? I'll definitely hit him and let him know for sure. He's been meaning to do that. I'll remind him though. Shout out to Philly Laz. And yo, follow this man on Twitter. He be throwing some down for sure. And I agree. Philly Laz, me and LB both spoke on it early in this. We've been live for 37 minutes. So if you didn't get in here early, I said, this report ain't coming out if we beat Seattle. And it looked like there was the makings of this report prior to the Seattle game, because I remember Jeff McClain or one of these Philadelphia beat reporters literally said to Jalen after the Dallas Cowboys loss prior to the Seattle Seahawks game, they simply said, do you think that the players in the locker room don't receive the message from you well because you're so even kill? They asked them if being even kill is sending the wrong message. So they pretty much try to set this article up. Jalen said, no, it's not sending the wrong message. They know who I am. It's all good. And then next week, loss, and this article is written. So they literally set this whole thing in works prior to losing to Seattle. Blue with the $5 super chat. I'm just tired of the narrative. Everyone is pushing. No one respects us. They hate us regardless how we do. The article was BS too. Philly, we trust. I love it. I totally think this article was bogus because I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing to really stand on, but we want our guy who's been noted as a tremendous leader to be more rah-rah in the locker room. It was reported that he broke down the workout session. The team's workout was broken down via speech from BG and Hurts just 2 weeks ago. Don't get it. Brian Weeks with the $20 super chat. Do y'all believe that Nick should leave out the analytics while game planning? I think that's why we're predictable. I do think that analytics do mess. Analytics has its place in sports and in the NFL for sure, but it definitely, there should be a flow during the game calling and also game planning. Just what you really do best compared to some people's weaknesses. I don't think you can throw analytics out, but I think they're too involved for sure. Sideline adjustments with the $5 super chat. We haven't been good in situational football. Exactly. I think we use too many analytics in situational football instead of diagnosing what the situation is, especially on some key third downs and second downs. You're putting us in bad situations, making us have to throw the ball down the field. But anyways, we haven't been good in situational football, but I think getting this win is a moral boost. Prediction 35-0. Our D-line is touching DeVito watch. This man's been sacked a lot. If you can't come out this Giants game with 4+ sacks, I don't know what you're going to do as a D-line. You need to touch him. Pause. Shane with the $5 super chat. Not going to lie, I've seen aggressiveness from the young DBs that I haven't seen from the older guys all season. They're trying to hit somebody and make a name. You're right. Eli Ricks, Keely Ringo played their butts off. No catches, 1 PBU, targeted 5 times. Bradbury was the guinea pig in that Seattle Seahawks game. I will say this, though. The aggressiveness that we saw from the young guys is promising. However, I think that was just the overall premise from Matt Patricia. Focal point. Let's get aggressive. Let's get in their face. Let's win our one-on-ones. Blue with the $10 super chat. We had a bad streak, and I'm still pissed off, but I'm not going to say we done. I'm not going to bash our team. I just want us to do better because we have the players to do it. I just don't see us losing the last 3. I agree. The last 3 are easy games. There's no such thing as an easy game when you lost to Seattle and Drew Lock and you lost to Zach Wilson and the Jets. However, if we are deserving of a playoff spot, if we want to go far in the playoffs, it starts with winning out. Getting a home game in the playoffs, whether it's the number 1 seed or not. Niners got to lose to this, that, who cares? You win out, you got the spot. Because the Dallas Cowboys will drop one, at least in the NFC East, number 1 spot. Let's get to the last. I think there's one more super chat. Shout out to Nismo the Tank for becoming a channel member. Not sure who page it on, but shout out to you. And I think we hit the super chats. I'm not going to stay too long because I'm on both my channel and LB's channel. Wherever you're watching it, though, hit that like button. Philly Mike channel, hit the like. LB's channel, hit the like. Also, go subscribe to LB if you're from my channel and vice versa. A lot of y'all been asking for the GOAT Talk more weekly. Me and LB be trying to get the GOAT Talk more weekly. Just tough with the kids and scheduling and stuff. But I hit him up right away. Yo, you free? Hopped home. We had to talk about this because Jalen Hurts, best quality. He had a lot of great qualities last year, and this year still. Clutchness. Last year, deep ball, right? Rushing ability. But everybody, from media guys to ex-coaches to every player in the locker room, what is the first thing? When AJ's asked about Jalen, leadership. Devontae, leadership. BG, leadership. Fletch, leadership. Nick, leadership. All sunted? He don't got the pom-poms on? Well, everybody needs to look at themselves and pick their stuff up and go out there and win a game. You're on a 3-game losing streak. Just win a game. Now, I believe so hard that the Eagles are going to pound the Giants 38. We dropping 38 as an offense. I don't know what our defense is allowing. We'll talk about it more. Again, LB will be dropping his keys to victories. I'll be talking my stuff. But until next time, don't believe the Jalen Hurts slander. We out.